You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Training Thursday, we're going to do the exercise component of the week. So we talk so much about wellness. We talk about getting in the right mindset to achieve your goals. Yesterday, we even talked about how to decrease your appetite, how to really crush food cravings in order to be able to better burn body fat, to get at that ideal weight. So really, as we're entering springtime and we're starting to think more about body transformation, all of those things, we want to think about not just one specific thing, not just diet, not just exercise, not one thing. We want to think about how can we bring all of these things together for really a total wellness protocol, which when we're following that, when we do get healthy, everything goes into alignment, everything falls into place. And today what I want to do is I want to just kind of get you remotivated. I talked a lot about this last Thursday. If you didn't tune in last Thursday, I talked about kind of how to make fitness fun again. I talked about how we change things up for our clients' programs, and I gave you a brand new 30-day challenge. So check out that show if you didn't. Again, you can always just go to stephencabral.com/podcast to check all of those out. That was episode 398. So again, just stephencabral.com/398, or just go /podcast for every single back episode that you would like to listen to. And since we're on episode 405, I believe today, you have a few to check out if you're new to the Cabral concept. So today, what I like to do is I like to bring things to you that maybe you're not hearing in other podcasts, that you're not reading on Dr. Google or any of these specific places. And so what I'm going to do is I want to share with you 5 forgotten pieces of exercise equipment that I think are really, I think they're fantastic. And really, I think most people would benefit from using these 5 specific pieces of exercise equipment. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first one is actually a blast from the past. I don't go to gyms too much anymore. I do every once in a while, like the big box gyms, because I actually enjoy it. Like I like going in and seeing all of the huge pieces of equipment, all that. But for the most part, I work out at my specific, we have 2 studios in Boston, and I do a lot of body weight training and all sorts of things, especially as the weather gets nicer, I'll get outside too. So obviously I do my own weight workouts at least 3 times per week. But what I like to say as well is you can do a lot of things without going to the big box gyms. However, there is one piece of equipment that I actually saw, and I was doing a Skype wellness consultation, and in the person's background, they had this VersaClimber, and I said, I need to do a podcast on this. I need to talk about this piece of equipment, because literally it was one of my favorite pieces of equipment when I used to be back working in gyms in the very early 2000s. And what it is it's called the VersaClimber, and that's VERSA Climber. And what you do is you actually put your feet into the little stirrups on the bottom. You get right off the floor. It's like this vertical machine, and you put your hands on these handles. And what you're really doing is it's almost like you're scaling a wall, but you're just moving one leg up and one arm up, and then vice versa, one leg up and one arm up, and you're just cranking. Now you can just go on that and crank for like 20 or 30 minutes, but that's super intense. What I recommend is that this is just an amazing full body workout. So if you belong to a gym, or here's the thing too, if you want to buy one of these, look for it used, because remember, people buy these things like the Nordic Track or a VersaClimber, and they have the best intentions, but then they use it like 3 times. So look in your want ads, look on Craigslist, look in other places. But I'm telling you, you could probably steal one for like really short money. And if you buy it, it might make you use it. And so these things are absolutely fantastic. So it was a wellness consultation, but I chatted for like a minute about it. And I said, you want to try intervals on this. That means like 20 second, 30 second, or maybe up to 60 seconds. So like 20, 30 second, maybe 40, up to a minute. Try that for up to 10 sets. I mean, that is an absolutely fantastic workout. It will take you really no more than 20 minutes maximum. And that right there, like talk about interval training, that's interval training to the max. You could do a Tabata on it if you wanted to. That's 4 minutes long. But I would say just do 20 seconds worth. Get in there, crank, take 40 seconds of rest, crank again. I mean, I'm telling you, in and out in just 10 minutes with that style right there, that would be an absolutely fantastic workout. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never heard of a Versa Climber, simply type into Google or type into YouTube Versa Climber workout, and you'll see what that piece of exercise equipment is. And if you belong to a gym, just try it. After a weight workout one day, get over there, try 3 to 5 sets. That's it. Just try 3 sets, 20 seconds at a time. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's really, really a great, great interval. Okay. Number two is exercise tubing or bands. We have so many great pieces of equipment now. We have TRX and we have kettlebells and we have, all of these great things. Indian clubs, like really amazing pieces of exercise equipment. But a lot of people are now just forgetting about just good old tubing and bands. Bands can give you an absolutely phenomenal full body workout. In my book, when I published my book, this a few years back, called A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. Now, it's for women as well. It's just the publisher is basically a textbook company for personal trainers, for fitness professionals. It's a year's worth of workout. Women absolutely should use this book as well. But in there, I have a travel workout, and it might be just body weight, but I believe there's some band workouts in there as well. Now, here's why I say this. When I went overseas for my residencies, and I did residencies and internships for over 12 months for my naturopathic degree. So what I did when I was living in these hospitals and residencies, that there was no gyms. Believe me, in India, there was no gyms. There was no gyms in Sri Lanka. When I was in China, it was further away, and I didn't have a car, so I wasn't going to go to it. So in my room, what I used was simply a band that I'll link up in the show notes, and you could put it right in your doorway. Basically, you put it in the doorway hinge, you close the door, it's a nylon strap on that part of it, and then it has 2 handles. It acts just like a cable machine, but it's like $30. So what you're doing is you're doing a chest press with it. You can turn right around and do a row. You can put it overhead and do a lat pull down. You can put it low and do chops, low to high chops. You can do Romanian deadlifts on one legs or reaches. You can even do swings with it from low to high. You could do pull-throughs. You could do bicep curls. You can do tricep press downs, whatever you want. Whatever you can do with cables, you can do with a single band. So I'm telling you, it is absolutely fantastic. It's how I kept myself in shape. It's how I kept myself just kind of like motivated as well. Because when you get out of working out, you'll find that you're not really interested in working out. But when you get into it, then you're really passionate about it again. So it's one of those things that you just kind of have to keep going. It's part of that cycle where when you do it, you love it. When you stop doing it, you don't really want to exercise again. So for me, it was just making sure that I keep things going. I would do body weight workouts and I would do my exercise bands. And I'll tell you this, that even if you belong to a gym or you're even doing personal training at, like, let's just say it's our studio. Obviously, if you're not in Boston, you're not going to be at our studio. But when you're with a personal trainer or someone, bands are just such a great part of your workout in general, because what happens is as you start to stretch a band, the tension increases. It's the only piece of a fitness equipment that does that. As you move a cable, it starts to get less tension. As you move a Kaiser cable, that stays steady. As you move dumbbells, the lever actually changes based on where it is as you're moving that dumbbell. So bands is the only one where the more you stretch it, the more tense it gets. It really is absolutely fantastic for strengthening your shoulder joints, those capsules. It's so great for your core base exercises because you have to stay isometrically tight the whole time. It's really fantastic. And so again, just start to, even if you're doing the best work in the world, start to include a little bit more of that band work, even if it's just band reverse flies to warm up your rotator cuffs and improve your posture. Okay, number 3 is a rowing machine. When's the last time you did rowing? Like literally in a boat, rowing with oars, or simulating that on a rowing machine? I'll tell you, rowing is another one of those exercises that can be done for cardio for a longer distance, or it can be a great anaerobic workout for interval-based training. And the interval training, I love at the end of a workout as well, because you can do, again, 20-second, 30-second, 40-second, or maybe up to 60-second. But I'll tell you, too many people are doing 60-second intervals that shouldn't be. An interval is all out. If you're not going all out for 60 seconds, it's not really an interval. Most people should do 20 to 40 second intervals maximum. And that's great. That's plenty. Because as you start to go over that 40-second mark, a lot of times it's no longer anaerobic. It's not really 100% all out effort. So you're not getting that same metabolic charge. You're not doing less work. You're actually doing more. Do less time, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but do it more all out. Now, of course, do 1 to 2 sets of the exercise to warm up, like a row. And then you can get into it. So the only thing, a rowing machine, you just put your feet in little stirrups, You're getting close. You hold the cable. You can hold it underhand or overhand, and then you're going to row into your abdomen, into your stomach. Now, just be careful. I see too many people when they're doing this, as they come forward towards the machine, they round their back, and as they come backwards, they arch their back. I want to make sure you're not doing that, okay? So just keep good form. Keep your core engaged. Pull back, not with just your biceps and elbow joints. Pull back by opening up your chest and pinching your shoulder blades together. If you do that, looking forward the whole time, not down, you're going to keep great form, and it's an amazing interval. So try that as well. VersaClimber, rowing machine, great intervals. Okay, number 4 is a medicine ball. A medicine ball, whether you get one of the big leather ones or whether you get kind of the rubber ones that can bounce a little bit, you can get a full workout with just a medicine ball. Believe it or not, you can do a full workout with one, and they're super inexpensive. Just like bands, you can get one for under $20. And you just get one. You can get a 6-pound, 8-pound, or 10-pound. Any one of those will do. Now, with that, you could do rolling push-ups or 2 hands on the ball push-ups. You could do chops with it from low to high for your core and abs. You could do burpees with it, holding overhead, then down on the floor, kicking your feet back. You could do ab slams where you hold onto the ball and slam it down to the ground. You could do walking lunges where you basically, as you lunge, you're rotating the ball over your shoulder away from your back leg. You could do frog jumps where you're touching the medicine ball to the ground and then jumping up overhead. There's so many amazing exercises. Again, you can just type into YouTube, and obviously you have to make sure the person's using good form, but you can do so many great exercises. And the thing is too, it doesn't have to be your whole workout like I'm saying right now, but to incorporate it makes you more well balanced. Now, here's the thing. If you didn't listen to this show, I do have to recommend this. Go back to episode 391, StephenCabral.com/391, how to get a lean, athletic looking body. The only way you get a lean, athletic body, meaning you want to look like an athlete, you want to have all those different muscles in your stomach and abs and around your chest and look really lean and striated, you have to do things like medicine ball chops and ab slams, and you need to use bands. And the reason why I'm saying that is that the whole key to that show is you have to move in 3 planes of motion. You need to be moving forward and back, side to side, rotating side to side as well. So really, really important that check out that show if you didn't listen to that show, because it's going to tell you that things like chops, that things like rolling push-ups, that changing direction is how you get to work all of those muscles. You don't get those specific striations in your muscles. You don't look like an athlete without moving like an athlete. So if you're just using machines at the gym, you're simply not going to look like an athlete. And I think most of us do think that athletes are in pretty good shape. Okay, number 5, last forgotten piece of fitness equipment is the ab wheel. Now, the ab wheel is more of like those controversial ones, but I'm telling you, here's why I think the ab wheel can be great for people after they've already gotten their core strong. You don't start with the ab wheel if you're just starting to work out, but if you've already been working out for 4 to 6 months, you could use the ab wheel. The ab wheel is simple. It's literally a little wheel with 2 handles on the side. You get down on your knees, and what you do is you keep your core engaged, and you start to roll your arms out. Your arms should be straight. Now, you only roll out until you can control the abs and shoulders and triceps, and you don't arch your lower back ever. Eventually, you'll be able to roll all the way out, so basically your nose touches the ground. Now, only when you're advanced, and then you use your abs to pull back in. So what is this? Well, the reason I would like it is this. It strengthens your triceps, your shoulders, but mainly it's your core, mainly it's your abs. And what happens is this: you're basically doing a plank. It's an isometric exercise. You are isometrically tight the entire time. So you're rolling out with that ab wheel. You're keeping everything tight like a plank, but it's just a very advanced plank. And then dynamically, you're using dynamic stabilization to make sure you don't tip side to side. And then you use your abs to draw back in. Now, again, it's advanced, but what's happening is this. You are literally working in all 3 planes of motion with this exercise. Now, I know it's sagittal plane because you're moving forward and back, but you're also resisting rotation. You're resisting falling from side to side, and so you're getting a little bit of that lateral motion, a little bit of that frontal motion. You're preventing that. And then you're getting a little bit of anti-rotation or anti-transverse plane. So you don't always have to be moving in that plane to get the benefits of that plane because you're resisting that motion, which helps as well. So again, yes, it's sagittal. You're drawing forward and back, and it's like a crunch, but really you're getting the benefits of a plank while doing an ab crunch at the same time. Now, if you've been doing abs for a while, if you've been working your core for a while, this can be a great exercise to add to your repertoire. So you can just type in ab wheel, and you'll get that isometric stabilization. You get that dynamic movement in there as well. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, one more bonus one that I had to leave you with, and that's one of the biggest forgotten pieces of equipment is our own body. Too few of us are just discounting the amount of work we can do right in our own bedroom or basement or anywhere that you want to work out at home with just your own body weight. I call it the no excuse workout. There's never a reason why you can say, well, I can't afford a gym. I can't afford the VersaClimber. I can't afford a rowing machine. I can't afford a $30 set of bands. I can't afford a $20 medicine ball. You can afford to use your own body weight, right? Like, all joking aside, you can do push-ups, you can do lunges, you can do squats, you can do one-legged reaches, you can do any of these things on your own body weight, right? You really can. You can get in a great 10 to 20 minute workout every single day, working your entire body with just your own body weight. In my book, and again, I make, honestly, 50 cents to probably $1 on each sale of that book. It's called A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at my store. My store, we just send out the autographed copies that I write up. In it is a complete body weight workout as well. But you can find body weight workouts online. You can go to YouTube and type in Stephen Cabral. You'll see videos I did like 10 years ago, like literally 10 years ago when I was a health correspondent and fitness person for Diet.com. A lot of that is just body weight. Start somewhere. But what I'm saying is you need to move forward. One of the biggest things is that really, before I start my day, so I'm gotten ready for my day, right before I leave the house, right before I get dressed, I do squats, push-ups, I do lunges, I do all of these things basically to invigorate my body, to get oxygen pumping through it, to wake my body up and to activate my muscles so that my posture is then better, so that my hip flexors are open, so that my glutes are activated, so that I don't just shuffle along, that I don't have lower back pain, that I don't have any of these things. I'm doing the preventative work right now. It's not my workout for the day. I'm just doing basically one set. My workout will come later in the day. But for a lot of people, you don't have time because of you have to work from 7 to 7 or 8 to 8. You can't take a lunch break to work out. You can't go after work because there's family commitments, whatever it might be. You can wake up 20 minutes earlier and you can go through the yoga training that I talked about before on a previous podcast. You could do the bodyweight workout that I just talked about right now, which is just simply push-ups and squats and lunges. You can buy a pull-up bar. Like the home equipment, let me tell you about the equipment I have just at my house. I have a pull-up bar, I have adjustable dumbbells, I have one kettlebell, and I have bands. That's basically it. I can get a whole workout on the weekend in literally 15 minutes maximum. 10 to 20 minutes is what I do. With my girls right there, they're joking around with me as well. They asked me to lift them up to the pull-up bar. They're hanging from the pull-up bar doing pull-ups on their own. It's just my own doorway. And again, everyone can do this. It's not just me. All you have to do is keep it there. So when it's there, you can just pull out to say, okay, before we start our day or whatever it might be, you have a lull in the day, pull it out, do a 15-minute workout, do a 20-minute workout, do it with your kids if you want. It's so simple to do. The equipment is a one-time cost. You can purchase it. If you want to see what I do, just go to stevecabral.com/store, and I believe it's click on weight loss. It's just all of my home gym equipment. It's not mine. It's just links. All I do is give you links to the brands that I use myself that I recommend, but of course you can get it anywhere, wherever you feel comfortable with. So my goal is this. I want to bring you things that excite you, that get you motivated, that really makes exercise fun again, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it. Just like nutrition, if you enjoy what you're eating, if you get into the lifestyle, if you start to enjoy living a plant-based lifestyle, plant-based nutrition program, you're going to eat more vegetables, you're going to eat more smoothies, you're going to enjoy all of these specific things, right? So when you get into it, it starts to become contagious as well. Then your family wants to do it. So that's my big thing is I want this to really become contagious. I want more and more people to get into not only living a healthier lifestyle, but also enjoying it. Because when you enjoy it, it becomes a part of you. And then it's not an effort. You just eat healthier. You just exercise. You just take your supplements. You do your detoxes. It's just part of your life. It's who you are. And really, that's what our end goal is. It's not forcing ourselves to do it, but wanting to do it. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, I really do appreciate you tuning into the Cabral Concept. And if this episode, in general, if this episode, though, could help anyone, please do feel free to share it with them. Take care, everyone.
Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or unbalanced in only two ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to stephencabral.com/rainbarrel.